months, I've actually been avoiding the Hamilton musical on Disney Plus, and I'm not entirely sure why. I think it had something to do with being recording of a Broadway musical rather than something adapted like the recent film In the Heights. I've never done well with recordings of plays. It's an entirely different experience being in the audience of a play than watching a recording. I mean, I've always seen stuff like this as equatable to bringing a video camera into a movie theater and expecting the experience to be the same. Plus, I never really knew how to review something like this before, but I'll try to give it a shot. Hamilton is a Tony Award-winning musical about Alexander Hamilton, a man that was crucial to the development and conception of our independence. How, as imperfect of a man he was still an inspiration when it came down to his commitment to his land and country and his ability to write like he's running out of time. Okay, so I had mentioned this before, but I have seen Lin-Manuel Miranda live when he just started out in the Heights. It was such a change of pace, and it immediately put him on the map, and for good reason. I feel like I still prefer all the songs, the energy, and the modern cultural importance of In the Heights than Hamilton, but even this musical changed things up again and did something that I've never seen before. And the entire thing, from start to finish, never has any regular spoken dialogue in between the songs. In a way, it's like 2.5 hour long song, especially because Lin-Manuel does such a remarkable job blending the songs together, including variations of songs that were already sung, so that the tone of the production remains consistent. As for what I thought about the song specifically, I'm a bit of a mixed bag. I feel like with repeated viewings, each of the songs will definitely grow on me. There's a lot in there that were phenomenally performed, but not really anything that I wanted to listen to again on an album afterwards, save for a few that I literally had to rewind and watch over and over again, like King George's solo, You'll Be Back. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. You'll remember that I'll... whatever. Ignore me. Now, a few of the reasons I wasn't racing off to see this film when it first came out, even though I love Lin-Manuel Miranda and consider him to be a musical genius, is because I've always found American history to be a bore, and the runtime of 2.5 hours that I had to commit to, While I'm still not a fan of American history, Lin-Manuel was able to somehow blend entertainment with at least some educational value, but obviously being 100% right about history was not the point. In fact, in terms of taking creative liberties, Hamilton does that in the best way possible. It keeps the spirit and idea alive and honest, while doing it in an entertaining light, even if that means stretching the truth out here and there for entertainment purposes, obviously. What about the runtime? Well, the consistent vibe of fast-paced songs does a remarkable job at making the film feel shorter than it is, but it's also a bit exhausting too. Musicals like this typically take a break between the songs for a reason. Anything dramatic needs time to breathe, to let the audience mull over and think about what they just heard. And you don't really get that with this film, which means that you do end up feeling the length. It's not the end of the world, because I think that there's enough material in the film to entertain anybody at various intervals. I've heard people praise the musical for something that even those that don't like musicals can appreciate and have fun with, which is huge. But I also think In the Heights does the same thing. So overall, I am glad that I saw this musical, and I'll certainly be listening to a few of the songs again. But as an overall movie, I'm not sure it has much rewatchability factor for me. It's one heck of a commitment to watch 2.5 hours for something that I only really love a couple of songs for. It's more about Lin-Manuel's ability to blend a lot of these songs together. The guy's a genius, and all these performers are so talented. The energy is top-notch. I feel like I learned something really cool about our history, so if I were to score this film, my normal grading scale does not work for something like this, so instead I'll just pick a number out of thin air and give this puppy 92%. It's a phenomenal musical that deserves to be watched, if only for the one time. So guys, If you have seen Hamilton, I want to hear your thoughts about it in the comments section down below. And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with the next review. And until then, peace out.